chapter begins with some hieroglyphs saying that there was a certain game during ancient times known as the Shadow Games. We then jump to a school where it's lunchtime. One of the students tells Yugi to stop playing games by himself and come play basketball. Yugi refuses by saying that his team will lose. Once everyone is gone, Yugi wishes that he has someone to play with him since he brings a lot of games. He then pulls an odd puzzle box out of his bag as he claims that he's going to finish it. Before he could open it, Honda and Junichi snatches it. Now, some of you may be confused on why I don't call these two Joey and Kristen. It's because Junichi and Honda are their original names. When the anime version came to the US, 4Kids changed many of the characters' names. However, when Viz got the manga, to my knowledge they kept many of the characters' original names. So with that said, back to the manga. Honda tosses the box to Junichi as Yugi tells them to give it back. Junichi replies if he wants it back, he has to fight him, which Yugi refuses. After Junichi takes a peek inside the box, Azuma appears and takes the box away from the two. Honda and Junichi run out of the room as she lectures them about bullying. She then tells Yugi to toughen up as she hands the box back to him. Yugi thanks Azu as she explains that she came back inside because the boys playing basketball have been peeking up the girls' skirts while they take their shots. Yugi begins to fantasize but gets interrupted when Azu asks him what's in the box. He tells her that it is a puzzle that he found in his family's game store. He also states that it's a memento of his grandpa. Anzu is surprised to hear this and figures that's why he treasures it. Yugi claims that it was found in some ruins in Egypt. He points out the hieroglyphs on the box, and he believes that it says that whoever solves this puzzle will be granted one wish. However, he's been working on it for 8 years and still hasn't solved it. We jump to Junichi and Honda, who are walking in the halls. As Junichi gripes about being called a bully, they bump into Shio, the hall monitor. He asks them if they were talking about bullies. Before Junichi could say anything stupid, Honda quickly replies no. Once Shio is gone, Junichi reveals that he has one of Yugi's puzzle pieces. He then throws him to the school's pool. Once school is over, Shio approaches Yugi at the school's entrance. He asks him if he's being bullied. Yugi replies no. The hall monitor then offers to be his bodyguard. Yugi declines as he leaves. When Yugi arrives at his family's shop, Anzu is waiting for him. They go inside where they're greeted by Yugi's grandpa, Suguruku. Anzu freaks out and tells Yugi that she thought he had told her that he was dead. Yugi corrects himself by saying that the puzzle will be a memento. Before the teens could run upstairs, Suguruku asks Yugi about the puzzle. He tells him that it's too hard for him and that there is a rumor attached to the puzzle. The so-called rumor is that the people who found this puzzle had died mysteriously. The last one to die said with his dying breath the Shadow Games. The hieroglyphs state that whoever solves the puzzle will gain power and knowledge of darkness. After hearing this, Yugi happily states that it does grant a person's wish. Wait, what? Yugi, what the hell are you talking about? Your grandpa just said that the person will get power and knowledge of darkness. So where in the flying hell do you think that power and knowledge equals granting a wish? Unless your wish is to take over the world? The next day, Shio tells Yugi that he has something to show him. The two go behind a building to find a beaten Honda and Junichi. Shio had beaten them up to teach them a lesson since he's Yugi's bodyguard. Yugi tries to tell Honda and Junichi that he didn't tell him to do this. However, he gets shoved aside by the tall teen who starts kicking Junichi some more. Yugi steps in between the hall monitor and the beaten teens. Shio tells him that this is a good chance to beat them up for all the times that they bullied him. Yugi claims that he can't do that to his friends and they weren't bullying him but teaching him how to be a man. Shio then drops a bombshell. He's enforcing a bodyguard fee of 200,000 yen, and as a warning he beats Yugi up. As Shio leaves, he tells Yugi that if he doesn't pay by tomorrow, he'll be in worse pain. That night, Yugi counts his money. However, he doesn't have enough to pay the hall monitor's fee. As he's thinking about what he should do, he finds himself working on the puzzle. As he's fiddling with it, he realizes how strange it is for him to easily solve it. As he reaches for the last piece, he notices that it's gone. Suruku appears and sees that Yugi has finally finished the puzzle. Yugi tells him that he couldn't finish it after all. Suruku tells him not to lose faith since he worked so hard on it before giving him the missing piece. Yugi is so happy that he dry humps his grandpa. Yugi, I think someone needs to talk to you about that, because that's wrong on so many levels. Anyway, Yugi thanks his grandpa for finding it. Shiroku claims that it wasn't him who found it, but one of Yugi's friends. Yugi happily heads back to the puzzle as his grandpa starts to leave. On his way out, he slips an envelope of money into Yugi's bag. Apparently it was Junichi who found the puzzle piece and had told him about Shio. Shiroko states to himself that he's surprised that Yugi had finished the puzzle. He also claims that in the Book of the Dead, whoever solves the puzzle will inherit the Shadow Games and become the guardian of good and passes judgment on evil. Wait. How do you know that? More importantly, why would you let your own grandson solve this puzzle when you know that bit of information? Yugi places the last piece in the puzzle. A beam suddenly comes out of the puzzle which gives the small teen a third eye. With a face like that, I think we need Exorcist. We then see Shio at the school after getting a phone call from Yugi. He looks around and spots a creepy looking Yugi. When told to hand over the money, Yugi tells him that not only does he have it, but he brought double the amount that was asked. However, instead of simply handing the money over, Yugi challenges Shio to a shadow game. He agrees after hearing that he could win more than 2,000 yen. Yugi then explains the rules. Each player places the money on top of their hand and stabs it with a knife. The player can keep the money that the knife stabs, and they must take more than one bill. The game continues until the last bill is gone. However, if a player takes the money by hand or quits during the game, that player loses and must give the money that they earned to the other player. If a player breaks the rules, they will be punished with a penalty game. Once the rules have been set, the two start to play. The game goes without a hitch. However, after a couple of turns, the Hall of Mother's greed gets the better of him and he attacks Yugi. The small teen dodges the attack and claims that he thought Shio wouldn't follow the rules. Shio then receives his penalty game, an illusion of money fallen. The next day, Shio is sitting in a pile of leaves and trash, believing that it's money. Yugi walks down the hall, not remembering anything after finishing the puzzle. He then runs into Junichi. After some small talk, Junichi states that he has a treasure too. He gives Yugi a hint, something that he can show but can't see. As Yugi thinks about it, Junichi tells him that it's friendship. The chapter ends with Junichi running with Yugi running after him. Oh boy, where do I begin? I have to admit that I found the art style off-putting when I first read this manga since I saw the anime first. I can see some people be turned off by this manga because of it. However, after looking at it again, I found the art style laughable at some moments, like Yugi's expression when he's fantasizing after hearing why Yazu came back inside. Like I said, I saw the anime first. So after reading this chapter, I liked how Junichi and Hana don't start as Yugi's friends, but as his bullies. By the end of this chapter, only Junichi considers Yugi as a friend. I do find it somewhat funny that Yugi sees Junichi and Hana as friends, while the two see him as some kid that they can bully. Maybe it's because Yugi doesn't have a whole lot of friends. Now let's talk about that puzzle. It's understandable that Yugi wouldn't understand what the hieroglyphs mean. Due to his wanting to have friends, he believes that if he solves the puzzle, it'll grant his wish. However, Yugi's grandpa is a different story. One would believe that he's just a weird old man when we first meet him, but when we see him again, he seems to know more about the puzzle when he mentions the Book of the Dead. Now that I think about it, it was him who first called it the Millennium Puzzle. Having Yugi not remember playing the Shadow game is kinda clever. I like this concept and it does make sense. It might have gotten darker and become a different story if he did, for what we got is like Jekyll and Hyde. Now that's all I have to say, so I'll see you in the next read little by little.